Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly cared for yourself with the same intensity, love, and patience you've given to everyone else? There comes a moment in life when everything slows down, not because the world stops, but because something inside you whispers, it's time. Time to turn inward. Time to make you the priority. For so long, you've been the pillar holding everything together, the caretaker, the peacekeeper, the problem solver. You've been there for others through chaos and calm, sacrificing your energy, your sleep, your own peace, often without anyone even noticing. You've carried the weight of the world on your shoulders while putting your own needs last. But that season is shifting. This is a new chapter. This is your call to come home to yourself. It's time to give yourself the love, the attention, and the gentle care that you've so freely offered to everyone else. Your body, this incredible, resilient vessel, has carried you through decades of commitment, of sacrifices, of unspoken strength. It was there through the late nights, the early mornings, the moments of exhaustion that no one else ever saw. It stood firm when you pushed beyond your limits, when you ignored its quiet pleas for rest, for comfort, for ease. Now, it's asking again, only louder. It's asking for rest that replenishes, nourishment that heals, movement that feels joyful, not forced. Listen to it, honor it, not out of guilt, but out of gratitude, because this body has never given up on you. Caring for it isn't selfish. It's an act of reverence. It's saying thank you to the very thing that has carried you through every battle. And then there's your mind. How long has it been filled to the brim with worry? Worry about others, about money, about things far outside your control. You've been stuck in loops of overthinking, always preparing for what might go wrong. But now, it's time to clear that clutter. It's time to choose peace over panic. Let go of the belief that you must always have the answers. Give your mind the gift of calm, of joy. Feed it with inspiration. Read books that spark your imagination. Play music that soothes your soul. Have conversations that lift you higher. Let go of voices that drain you. Release opinions that don't belong to you. And walk away from negativity that darkens your light. Because your mind, just like your body, deserves to breathe again. And what about your heart? That beautiful, bruised, and brilliant heart. It has loved deeply. It has broken, healed, forgiven, and held on, even when it hurt. It has stayed soft in a world that demanded it to harden. It gave love when it was running on empty. It forgave people who didn't deserve it. It held on longer than it should have because it believed in the good. But now your heart needs to be wrapped in its own warmth. It needs to feel kindness from you. It deserves boundaries. It deserves space to breathe, to soften, to feel love in its purest, most unconditional form. Starting with the love you give, yourself, and deep within all of that, your spirit has been waiting. That quiet, knowing voice inside you, the one that's always known what you need, is still there. But over time, you silenced it. Life got too loud. Responsibilities piled on, expectations drowned it out, but it never left. And now, it's asking you to return, to reconnect with the things that make you feel alive. Maybe that's prayer. Maybe it's meditation. Maybe it's walking barefoot in the grass, painting without a purpose, dancing alone in your living room, or just sitting in silence for the first time in days. Whatever it is, make space for it. It doesn't have to be productive. It just has to be true. Your spirit is not asking you to do more. It's asking you to be more present with yourself. And yes, let's talk about boundaries. Saying no isn't rude, it's sacred. You don't have to be available for every call, every favor, every conversation that leaves you empty. You're not obligated to explain why you're choosing yourself. Protecting your peace is not a betrayal. It's a declaration that you finally believe you're worth it. You've spent years making sure others were okay. Now it's your turn to be the one who listens, who nourishes, who shows up. For you. You've spent years showing up for others. But now, the question gently turns inward. Are you okay? That simple question, am I okay, might be the most important one you've asked yourself in a long time. And if the answer is no, then it's time to take responsibility. Not with guilt, but with compassion. Rest is not a luxury. It's not a reward for doing everything right. It's a fundamental need, as essential as breathing, as vital as love. You don't have to earn rest through exhaustion. You don't need to prove your worth by being constantly drained, constantly doing. You've already done enough. You've already been enough. Rest because your body is tired. Rest because your soul deserves peace. Rest because you no longer have anything to prove, and slowly, gently, a shift happens. Happiness is no longer this thing you chase like a finish line. It becomes something you quietly create, moment by moment. It's in the first sip of tea in the morning, when everything feels still and calm. It's in the sunlight warming your skin, reminding you that you're alive. It's in those bursts of laughter that rise from your belly without warning. Happiness is found in the small decisions, the ones where you choose yourself, the ones where you protect your peace, the ones where you nurture joy from within. And the best part? You no longer need anyone's permission to enjoy it. There comes a powerful turning point when you realize peace is your greatest wealth. Not money, not approval, not status, but peace. The kind that lets you wake up without anxiety. The kind that lets you move through your day without carrying invisible burdens. The kind that lets you lay your head down at night without regret. It's a quiet strength, a deep knowing that no matter what happens outside of you, nothing can disturb what's within. True inner peace doesn't come from controlling everything. It comes from releasing the need to control. You've spent years trying to hold it all together, fixing, managing, believing that if you just tried harder, things would finally fall into place. But peace lives in surrender. It lives in trusting life to unfold in its own time. It lives in the gentle art of letting go. When you stop resisting what you can't change, you free yourself from pain that was never yours to carry, and silence. Silence becomes your new sanctuary. Not every battle deserves your energy. Not every opinion requires your response. Not every conversation needs your participation. There is profound strength in choosing stillness, in observing instead of reacting, in knowing when to speak and when to be silent. Because in that silence, something sacred reveals itself. Peace was always inside you. It was just buried under noise that never belonged to you in the first place. And then, there's forgiveness. So often misunderstood, forgiveness isn't about setting others free. It's about liberating yourself. Holding on to resentment, anger, or disappointment only weighs you down. It ties you to moments long gone. You don't have to keep pain alive just because it feels familiar. Letting go is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's choosing your well-being over your wounds. It's choosing to break the cycle of suffering. And finally, choose peace. And remember this: your environment deeply affects your inner peace. Surround yourself with people who bring calm, not conflict. Choose relationships that nourish, not drain. Protect your personal space from gossip, chaos, and negativity. You have every right to walk away from the habit, the conversation, or even the person if it costs you your peace, because your energy is sacred. And guarding it, that's your responsibility. And finally, If you're looking for a place to begin, start with gratitude. Not grand gestures, just small, honest thanks. Gratitude softens the heart, it reorients the mind, and slowly it becomes the soil in which peace takes root. After all, peace begins with what you choose to hold on to and what you decide to finally let go. When you start choosing gratitude over longing, presence over regret, the entire world inside you begins to change. Because peace doesn't arrive wrapped in perfection. It doesn't wait for the right moment or come only on calm, beautiful days. It shows up in the ordinary, in the golden warmth of sunlight brushing your skin, in the sound of laughter, pure, spontaneous, free, in the quiet of early mornings before the world begins to stir. These are the simple moments where peace lives quietly but powerfully. And peace also means living here, in the now, not in the shadow of your past, not in the worry of your future. This moment, right here, is all you truly have. Too often, we waste today by replaying what went wrong yesterday or fearing what might go wrong tomorrow. But life is always unfolding, always offering something if we're present enough to notice. So breathe deeply, slow down, let yourself just be, without the burden of yesterday and without anxiety about what's next. Because inner peace, it's not something you find out there, it's something you build inside. It's a daily decision to release what no longer serves you, to forgive even without an apology, to protect your energy, your boundaries, your joy, to focus only on what truly matters. And when you choose peace, you choose freedom. Eventually, a moment comes when you must decide that carrying the pain of the past is no longer worth the weight. You've held on to old wounds, regrets, and disappointments for far too long, and instead of protecting you, they've only made your journey heavier. The heartbreaks, the missed chances, the people who left without closure, the opportunities that slipped through your fingers. None of it defines you now. The past is there to teach you, not to imprison you. Holding on to pain doesn't change what happened. It won't rewrite the ending. It won't erase the mistakes, and it certainly won't bring back what was lost. All it does is keep you stuck, caught in loops of suffering, reliving moments that no longer exist, moments that no longer deserve your energy. You don't have to carry guilt for what you didn't know then. You were learning. You were doing the best you could with what you had. Growth means giving yourself permission to move forward, without needing to look back every step of the way. Some people from your past, they were lessons, not lifelong companions. You've spent too long replaying those conversations. What could I have said differently? What could I have done to make them stay? But here's the truth. Some chapters end. Some people leave. Because their part in your story is complete, and their absence, it made space for your becoming. You can't build a future while clinging to relationships that were never meant to last. And then there's resentment, a sneaky, silent weight. We think if we hold on to anger, we somehow win. That if we refuse to forgive, justice will be served. But resentment is like drinking poison and hoping the other person gets sick. It doesn't. Punish them. It punishes you. It crowds your heart. It pushes out your joy. It dims your light. Forgiveness doesn't excuse the hurt. It simply declares, this no longer has power over me. Letting go is not weakness, it's strength. It's saying, I choose peace over pain. I choose healing over control. And sometimes, letting go means releasing the idea of closure altogether. The apology may never come. The explanation you've been waiting for, it might never arrive, and that has to be okay. You can't press pause on your healing while waiting for someone else to understand your pain. You don't need their validation to move forward. The closure you're looking for? It's this. Your peace matters more than their recognition. Your worth doesn't require their approval. You decide when the past no longer has permission to define your life. Because memories, they're tricky things. Sometimes they make the past seem better than it was, sometimes worse than it actually felt. But either way, it's over. And you're still here, still growing, still healing, still moving forward. One peaceful step at a time. Letting go of the past doesn't mean forgetting. It means honoring the lessons and finally allowing yourself to move forward with peace, not pain. Memories are exactly that. Snapshots, frozen images of moments that have already passed. You are no longer the same person who lived through those chapters. You've grown. You've changed. You've learned. So, now, give yourself permission to rewrite the story, to see those memories for what they were, not for what they still hold over you. You are not defined by what happened. You are shaped by how you've risen from it. Your future cannot bloom if your hands are still grasping tightly to yesterday. There are new experiences waiting just beyond your reach, new joys, new beginnings, new possibilities. But they can't find you if you're stuck clinging to the past. Letting go is an act of self-respect. It's a declaration. I deserve a life unburdened by what no longer serves me. It's trusting that what's ahead carries more light than anything left behind. One of the most powerful things you can do for yourself is to release the weight you were never meant to carry. You don't have to revisit the past just to prove it happened. You don't have to reopen wounds just to remind yourself how they hurt. The past has done its job. It taught you. It shaped you. And now it's time to leave it exactly where it belongs, behind you. Your energy is one of the most valuable things you possess. Yet how often do we spend it carelessly? We worry about things we can't change. We engage in draining conversations. We hold on to situations that give nothing back but exhaustion. But every ounce of energy you give, you don't get back. So now is the time to be intentional. Be mindful of where your focus goes, where your emotions are spent, where your efforts are poured. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every argument needs your voice. Not every problem is yours to fix. When you learn to pause, to assess what truly matters, you'll begin to see something clearly. So much of what consumed you was never even yours to carry. Your energy should go toward the things that build you, not break you, toward people who uplift you, not deplete you. There is a crucial difference between being kind and being constantly available. You've spent years showing up for others, but how often have you truly shown up for yourself? How often have you honored your needs, your dreams, your well-being? You are not required to be everything for everyone. You don't have to stretch yourself thin to make others comfortable. Protecting your energy means finally realizing that you deserve the same care you've always given to others. Some battles? They're simply not worth fighting. You don't have to prove your worth to people who've already chosen to misunderstand you. You don't owe explanations to those who never intended to support you. Walking away isn't weakness, it's wisdom. There is power in silence, in choosing peace over chaos, in deciding that your energy is better spent elsewhere. You don't have to show up to every conflict you're invited to. You don't have to explain your peace to people committed to their own noise. Your time, your energy, they're sacred. They should be spent on things that bring you joy, growth, and fulfillment. Spend your days with people who make you feel alive, who celebrate your presence, not just tolerate it, who see you, not just use you. Use your energy to chase what lights you up, to create, to learn, to explore. Because every moment spent on something meaningless is a moment stolen from what could have truly mattered. Be intentional with your days. Be selective with your time. Emotional energy is just as vital as physical energy. The thoughts you feed, the emotions you linger in, the stories you replay in your mind, they shape your entire experience of life. If you constantly give energy to negativity, overthinking, and regret, that's where your mind will stay. But if you gently redirect that energy toward hope, toward gratitude, toward possibility, you begin to build a life that feels light, that feels whole, that feels like home. When you start guarding your energy and choosing where to place it with intention, something beautiful happens. Your entire view of life begins to shift, because what you feed grows. So, be mindful, be intentional. What are you watering with your attention each day? The people around you, they shape your energy more than you may realize. Some leave you feeling lifted, inspired, renewed. Others, they leave you drained, like you've been holding your breath the entire time. Start paying close attention to how you feel after being with someone. Does your soul feel lighter or heavier? If someone consistently leaves you feeling depleted, like their presence is a weight you're forced to carry, it's okay to take a step back. You're not required to stay in relationships that take more than they give. You are allowed to choose peace over obligation. Being intentional with your energy is not selfish, it's self-respect. It's understanding that you cannot offer the best of yourself to the world if you're constantly running on empty. It's learning that not everything deserves your response, your stress, your time. The more you protect your energy, the more you open up space for the things that truly matter. The more you start living a life that feels full, not just one that looks busy, because people may hear what you say, but what they feel from your presence. That's what they'll remember. Words are powerful, yes, but actions? They leave the lasting imprint. You've probably spent years giving advice, trying to explain yourself, hoping others would finally understand. But real influence doesn't come from convincing. It comes from embodying. When your actions align with your values, when you live in integrity with what you believe, you don't need to say much. Your life becomes the message. And the truth is, not everyone will be ready for it. Not everyone will understand your transformation. Not everyone will appreciate your boundaries. That's okay. You don't need to exhaust yourself trying to force clarity into minds that aren't open. The most powerful way to teach is to live in a way that makes people curious. Let them see what peace really looks like. Let them witness what self-respect sounds like without a single word. Let them feel what it's like to stand firm in who you are without needing applause or approval. Sometimes silence speaks louder than explanations. Sometimes peace is louder than any argument. Yes, you'll feel the urge to explain, to correct the narrative, to defend your heart and your choices. But some lessons? They can't be taught with words. They can only be learned through life. You cannot force someone to see what they aren't ready to face. So instead of trying to prove your point, live your point. Let your peace be your power. Let your presence be your proof. Let your happiness, your calm, your glow, do the talking. Because something remarkable happens when you stop chasing approval. Your energy shifts. And that shift is where freedom begins. Once you stop chasing approval and start embodying your truth, everything shifts. From how you carry yourself to what you attract into your life. Leading by example begins with standing so firmly in who you are that you no longer need permission to just be. You don't need to announce every decision, justify every shift, or explain every boundary. There is quiet strength in moving in silence, in walking your path with certainty, even when no one claps. Because when you stop seeking validation, you naturally attract the right people and the right opportunities. People who see you, people who feel you, not just hear you. And know this, people are watching more than they're listening. Children learn not from what you say, but from what they see. Your loved ones, they take note of how you carry yourself in the midst of chaos, how you treat yourself when life gets hard. If you want to inspire others, let them witness your growth. Let them see your discipline, your quiet courage, your commitment to being true to yourself, even when it's hard. Because consistency, not just charisma, is what sets true leaders apart. It's easy to say the right things, but the real challenge? Living them, day in and day out. If you value kindness, reflect it not only in easy moments, but in testing ones. If you preach self-care, let people see you set boundaries, rest, and protect your peace. If you believe in growth, let that belief show in your humility, in your willingness to evolve, again and again. True strength doesn't come from volume, it comes from steadiness. It's in the grace you hold when negativity surrounds you. It's in the power you show by refusing to engage in battles that don't serve your soul. There is something magnetic about quiet confidence, about not needing to prove your worth because you already know it. The most influential people are rarely the loudest in the room. They don't need to announce their greatness, they embody it, leading by example. Isn't about being perfect, it's about being real. It's about showing up, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about living with resilience, with integrity, and with purpose. People won't always remember your words, but they will remember how you made them feel. They will remember the way you faced life's storms with dignity, because when the words fade, your life remains the message. Your legacy is built in how you live, not just in what you say. Life isn't a race to the finish line. It's a journey meant to be felt, embraced, and celebrated. Yet so many people delay their joy, waiting for the perfect moment, the right milestone, the big achievement. When I retire, when I succeed, when things fall into place. But joy isn't found in some faraway future. It's right here, in the little things we often overlook. It's in the messy kitchen filled with laughter, in the morning light slipping through your window, in the quiet comfort of simply being here, still growing, still healing. When you look back, you realize just how far you've come. The mountains you thought you couldn't climb, you did. The heartbreaks that felt unbearable, you survived. Every struggle shaped you. Every setback redirected you. Every detour led you somewhere you never expected, but needed to be. So instead of obsessing over what went wrong, celebrate how far you've come. Gratitude is one of the most honest ways to honor your path. When you appreciate what's already here, instead of longing for what's missing, everything shifts. The roof over your head, the meals you eat, the people who love you. These aren't guarantees, they're gifts. The ability to wake up, breathe, move, and witness another sunrise? That's a miracle, not a routine. Life isn't just about chasing the next thing. It's about acknowledging the beauty of what already is, and age. Age is not something to fear. It's something to honor. Every wrinkle, every laugh line, every gray hair. It's a record of life fully lived. Some people never got that chance. They didn't get to grow older, to witness more sunrises. So instead of resenting time, celebrate it. Celebrate the wisdom, the growth, the stories etched into your skin and soul. There is beauty in every season, and this chapter, is just as sacred as the ones before it. Happiness isn't found in perfection. It's found in presence, in the ability to find joy in life as it is. The house doesn't have to be spotless. The plans don't have to go just right. Everything doesn't need to be in order for you to feel peace. Some of the best memories? They're messy, spontaneous, real, filled with deep laughter and imperfect moments that touch the heart. Let go of the need to have it all figured out before you allow yourself to feel joy. And don't forget, the people around you are part of this journey. Celebrating life means celebrating them too. Tell them you love them, laugh with them, make memories that matter, hold close the moments that make your heart full. Life is too short to save your affection for someday, too unpredictable to assume there will always be more time. Celebrate the friendships that still remain, the bonds that lift you, the relationships that remind you of who you are. Don't let routine numb you. Life is meant to be lived. Go outside. Feel the sun on your skin. Dance to your favorite song, even if no one's watching. Try something new, even if it scares you. There's magic in stepping outside the ordinary and letting yourself experience life fully. Because joy isn't reserved for birthdays or holidays. It's tucked into the everyday. You just have to choose to see it. And your journey? It's yours alone. No one else's path will look like yours. And that's the beauty of it. Comparison will rob you. It will make you believe you're behind or not enough. But every twist, every turn, every unexpected moment, it brought you here. So stop waiting for your story to look different. Celebrate the one you've been writing all along. Because with all its messiness, beauty, and growth, this life is uniquely and beautifully yours. You don't need to be perfect to be loved. You don't need to prove anything to be worthy. All you need is to show up, gently, honestly, and fully, as yourself. You were never too late. You were always enough. Thank you for staying with us until the very end. If this message touched you, leave a like or a comment and subscribe to Motivation Hub Rise, so every day you have a place to come home to, a small space, but one that heals. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a message meant just for your heart.